let's talk about my favorite character on The Boys currently. No, it's not Butcher. No, it's not Homelander. No, it's not Huey. No, it's not Starlight. No, it's none of the members of The Boys. It's actually an antagonist for both the Seven and The Boys. It is Victoria Newman. She is quite literally my favorite character on the show currently because not only is she power hungry, she's hilarious power hungry. Where earlier on in episode 1, right? Well, not even episode 1. We actually have to go back. Let's go back to the end of season 3 where she gives her daughter the injection of essentially V. And at first we thought, as she said, I'm giving her this in order to essentially not make her weak, not make her human, give her the powers to essentially protect herself. And for the most part, she's absolutely correct. Her daughter walked away with super strength, super regenerative abilities, enhanced reflexes, and tentacle mouth. Tentacle mouth may be a side effect, not exactly the power that you expect. I mean, when you shoot up V, it's a crapshoot on exactly what exactly the type of power you're going to get is going to be. But we thought she was doing this from a point of caring, because there was almost a level of sadness or melancholy at the fact that she had to give her daughter this injection to essentially turn her into a soup. She looked as though she regretted it, like she regretted causing this pain to her daughter. And this episode happens, episode 1, and her daughter just runs through the Secret Service agents. Like, she kills both of those agents in brutal fucking fashion. And there's a conversation which occurs between both her and Huey, which is both emotional and hilarious, but also scary at the exact same time. And what I mean by that is the hilarious part is when it comes in the middle, when Huey throws the acid on her and it does absolutely nothing, and she starts bitching about the fact that her clothes are melting. That's funny. The emotional part is the heartfelt conversation between both her and Huey, where Huey says that I was your boy. We spent an entire year setting up you on like the campaign trail and doing all of this political stuff for the action committees, and I felt as though we were close. That you were like you were like a sister, like you were the equivalent of a best friend. And there's a look of almost sorrow on her face. And one of the things I love about the actress that plays Victoria Newman, her face reflects her emotion. Because when a situation happens and she is done with it, you can see that she is done with this situation 100% in her eyes, and the way her whole head just contorts, like, get me out of here right now because I'm sick of it. But she looks at Huey and she almost tears up, where she almost feels as though, yeah, we spent a whole year together in the trenches. You were somebody that I could absolutely rely on. You were my friend. And she almost wanted to say, I really wish that you had never discovered that I was a soup. And in this situation, she offered essentially a stalemate, which I don't think that for anyone else who isn't Huey, that she would have offered a stalemate, which is essentially, you have information that can out me as a soup. I have the ability to pop your fucking head. Let's not do this and let's just remain in this stalemate situation. Then, of course, Butcher walks up and tries to shoot her in the head, and we discover that she's bulletproof as well. And I was like, yes, because my girl is not going to be taken out this way. If you're going to take her out, you have to be on Homelander tier, or Butcher's going to have to shoot up some Temp V one more time to end up just like right around Homelander tier in order to kill her. Fantastic. But what I was talking about the third thing about being sinister really goes back to the relationship that she had with Stan Edgar, where Edgar raised her as a double-edged sword. He raised her as both his adoptive daughter, but then he also raised her as a weapon that he could essentially wield to eliminate his enemies. And for the most part, she was super effective at being that weapon. What we originally thought was her giving her daughter V with the intention of having her daughter essentially be protected against anybody that would try to use her to get to her mother, we now see that it's an expansion on what Edgar did to her, where essentially she is raising her daughter as a daughter, but also as a weapon to eliminate her enemies. She's basically perfected what Edgar did and has essentially done it again. Because, and the reason why we know this is that once her daughter realizes that the guys in the room are members of the boys, she instantly starts killing all of the people, or attempting to kill all of the people in the room in order to protect her mother's secret. And that is right out of Stan Edgar's playbook, which is putting somebody in the room that is completely innocuous. I don't even know if that's the correct word I'm tempted to use, but the least likely suspect. Where when you go all the way back to season 2, when people's heads were popping left and right, no one really suspected Newman. It wasn't until the reveal towards the end of season 2 that we realized that she was the one popping everybody's heads, and we were like, holy shit, didn't see that twist coming in any way, shape, or form. Same thing here, right out of Stan Edgar's playbook. She's done that exact same thing with her daughter, which is her daughter can walk into a room, she can laugh, she can joke around. She was playing with Homelander's son Ryan, completely unsuspecting, you thinking that she's a child, but Butcher wouldn't have realized that in that moment she was the most deadly person in the room, because she could have essentially just tore him to absolute shreds, which is one of the reasons why I feel as though she didn't want to leave until Ryan asked her to leave. Then she immediately informs her mother, who goes outside and finds Huey, and then she immediately goes upstairs, sees the rest of the boys. See what I mean? Perfect weapon, moving around, eliminating all of her mother's enemies while giving and feeding her mother information to let her know that her enemies are around. Beautiful. Absolutely love it. Like, I love the character of Victoria Newman. Like, at first I low-key had found her a little bit annoying earlier on in season 2. It wasn't for anything like super bad or anything along those lines. It was just that she was just too OP. I mean, she's still absolutely OP in every way, shape, and form, but I love the way in which she's currently playing the game. She's playing the game like Stan would, which is she's appeasing to Homelander, but she's not giving him everything that he wants. It's a quid pro quo. What are you going to do for me? What am I going to do for you? But at the exact same time, she's leveraging her power to basically become the vice president. She's made it, I wouldn't really say she's made it obvious, but she's made it aware enough that the president knows that once he's inaugurated, at some point in time, some type of assassination thing is going to happen. He's going to die, and she's going to become the new president of the United States. As a direct result, there are multiple people moving to essentially eliminate her. But while they're moving to eliminate her, she's basically insulated herself in such a way, with so many hidden threats and so many levers that she could pull, that she's essentially untouchable until they figure out how to create some type of superhero killing germ from Soldier Boy's blood. But let me know what you think about Victoria Newman. I don't even know if she has a superhero code name. Head Popper? What would her code name be on the 7? Comment down below what you think our code name would be on the 7. Let me know. For those people new to the channel, thank you for finding the channel. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned for more The Boys content.